first snow of the season, you go to start the snow blower and the pull cord breaks. So today we're going to show you how to replace the pull cord start assembly on, this is specifically a John Deere snow blower. However, this will apply to pretty much anything as long as you think generically. So the first thing is you need to pull this recoil assembly off, and usually there's about 3 or 4 bolts. So there's 1, 2, and then there's a third one down there if you can see it. So you got to pull that off. So we'll start by doing that. Pretty simple to do. Just loosen all these nuts and pull them off. So now that we've got all 4 nuts off these studs, this recoil assembly is free. So it'll just come off of there. And that's where she's missing. So the rope will go right in this channel here and go right out that hole. So some recoils have a little bolt in here holding the whole spring assembly and everything in. That you can take the bolt out and take this whole assembly out to get this rope and tie the new one on. Makes it really nice and easy. However, this one is not quite as easy to take out, so we're just going to leave it in while we thread the new rope in there. So by looking at this, is probably still the original pull start rope that was in there from when it was built about 20-25 years ago, because it's still got that staple holding in the rope. So what we're going to have to do is pull that staple out. Just grab a pair of pliers or vice grips or whatever. Okay, so now we've got the staple out of there, and you need to grab some needle nose or whatever you got to go in there. And grab the remaining portion of the rope. So I've got my new pull cord rope here. I just got it at the local auto parts store. You want to make sure it's about the same size as this. You don't want to make it go any bigger, or else when you're winding it up, you won't get enough winds in there and it'll rub in the case, and it'll lead to breaking as well. So make sure you're about the same size cord. You can reuse the old one, but you know, it broke here already, so the chances of it breaking again are a little bit higher, and I just don't want to be replacing it all that often. So for, you know, $3 or $4, you can go get a new pull start cord. So like I said, you want to get your cord. If the end's not, you know, melted together, you might want to do that. It'll make it easier for you. So this is going to be the hard part. You want to go, and I'm going to bend a little hook in here. I'm going to see if I can get it to go through here. We're just going to use a knife to get it in there and started. You want to put it in there until you can get something grabbing on the other side. Okay, now that we see the rope on the other side, we can go ahead and grab that. Pull it up to us. Okay, so now that we're pulled it up, pull the rope through, and you can either tie a knot in the very end of it or have it how it was originally with the staple, which for this one there's not a whole lot of room for a knot to go in there, so I'm going to keep the staple and put it back in, and I'm just going to use a punch and a hammer to get it in there. So now we need to take the other end of our cord and put it through the hole where the handle goes. You're going to pull that all the way out. And we're going to measure to see how long our cord needs to be compared to the stock cord. You don't want to go much longer, or else again you're going to rub and break the cord. So as you can see, we've got an extra about 1.5 foot of cord onto here that we can cut off. But for right now, I'm not going to cut it off. I'm just going to tie a knot where it needs to go. Remove the cord out of the old handle. And then feed the new cord in. Just through the bottom. And you can pull it. And right where my finger's at is where it needs to stop at. So we're going to tie a knot right here. And that'll make it stop right where we want to. Doesn't have to be a real sophisticated knot or anything, just simple knot like that will work. Put it like that. So now what we can do is there's a notch right here that you can see. So what we need to do is take and turn the spring assembly to that notch and put the rope in that notch there. And you can pull this cord up like this. You don't have to pull a lot out. And then you're going to want to just turn this counterclockwise about 4 or 5 times. 3, 4, 5. So now that we've pulled that through about 5 times, we can pull this cord all the way in, take it out of the notch, and now it's going to pull our cord in. And that's pretty loose. It doesn't pull this cord all the way back in. We still got a little ways to go, so we're going to redo that and turn it a couple more times to tighten it. So it's working properly. We're good to go there. So now we can go put it back on the snowblower and see if it works. So it's just a reverse of the removal. You want to line up all your holes. Put it on there. I left the cord pretty long just in case I want to adjust it after I find out how long a throw it is. So I'm just putting it on. And then you want to put all 4 nuts back on and tighten them, and then we'll try it out. Okay, so we've got it all mounted back up there so we can just see if it works. So just grab it, see if it springs back. And for the most part it does. So we're good to go. So I'll cut this rope off and it should be good to start.